All right, I'm going to do something here that I've never done before. I've been doing all this talk about using Affinity. I have owned it actually. I don't even know how long I've owned a copy of it, but I've never used it. I bought a copy. I'd seen the ads on like YouTube for a couple of years, I would think, before I actually ever looked at and paid attention to the commercials. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, let me check it out. And then I waited another year. So it's probably been about 5 years since I've purchased a copy. And I actually purchased the copy after I had a problem with my Adobe software. I I had a copy on my laptop. No problem. You can have two copies, according to the terms of service. You can have in running on two different computers at the same time. And it was my own laptop, but I hadn't logged into the internet for quite some time. So I tried to open up Photoshop, and it said that I needed internet access in order to get on. Basically, it wanted to verify who I was and all of that kind of stuff. And I just didn't have time. So after that, I decided that's it. I'm purchasing Affinity. The price is quite reasonable. I'll own it and I can put it on there. My other feelings about this is I think if I retire or I'm not working in as a graphic artist, I don't think I need the Adobe products. It's just not worth it, and that's the way I feel about it for my students. Anyway, I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna open this up. This is a photograph that I use in my classes, that I use to teach retouching, and this was actually a photo that I grabbed off of Pixels, I believe, and it was difficult to find damaged photos. So this is actually damage that I have inflicted on this photo. Like I want to straighten up the rotation of the image. I want to crop the edges and fix these damaged pieces. And for the most part, I've not opened up Affinity. I haven't used it, and I don't know how to use it. So I'm going to open it up and let's just see what happens. Let's see how easy it is. I use Photoshop all the time. And again, yes, I have opened up Infinity, but I've never, as far as I can remember, used it to do anything. I just kind of looked around and that was it. Anyway, here we go. So open with, and you can see I got a lot of extra software because sometimes I switch back and forth between the old software. And you can see here, I started out with Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo. This is version 1. I didn't get that in version 1, but the one of the things is you cannot if I buy it individually, it's good for just, I picked it for just on a Mac because I'm on a Mac. You can pick it for PC or Mac. And if you get the whole collection, you can use it on PC, Mac, and you get all three. So this time I got Affinity, version 2, Affinity Designer 2, Affinity Photo 2, and I also got Infinity Publisher. I'm not a big fan of InDesign, which this is the one that it mimics, but I figured it's good to have it in case I find myself in a situation where I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Affinity Photo right here, the purple one, and let's see if I can retouch this photo. Here we go. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, I can see there's the paint bucket that looks like, yeah, the gradient tool, paintbrush, paint mixer brush, erase tool, dodge, clone, undo, blur, healing brush, pen tool. All right, okay, and there's a help here. Let's see if I can Affinity to clone. Let's see if it'll help me find anything. Clone. No. One thing I do know up here, this little button right here, it says Photo Persona. If you own all three of the software, I do know that you can easily switch between the different softwares. So that's one thing. That's one way that it is different than Adobe. What is this? Liquify Persona, Develop Persona, Tone Mapping, and Export Persona. Okay, so for personas, levels, auto levels, I'm just going to click it and see what happens. Okay, it adjusted the photo. I don't know if I'm going to undo that. I hit Command Z. I'm on a Mac. You can hit Command Z on a Mac or Control Z on a PC. And you'll see the photo. Just watch it very closely. I'm gonna click here, and again, auto levels, and you should see the darks go a little darker, and the colors should shift just a little bit. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, seems a little too green for me, but I'm gonna go with it. Here, this is auto contrast. I'm just gonna click it, see what happens. Okay, I like that. That was a nice improvement I saw there. And auto color. Let's see. Here we go. I said it looked a little too green, so let's see. It seems to be shifting every time I click it. It became a little redder. It's still kind of green to me, but okay, auto white balance. I'm just going to click that. The problem I might have is there's this white up here, so when it auto white balances, we'll see what happens. There we go. I'm going to tear this off, move it here. As you can see, yeah, everything seems to be moving, working kind of the same. Transform, history, navigator, brushes, stock. Okay, this is layers. This is what I was looking for. All right, here we go. Now, how do I adjust this? I need to crop it. I need to rotate. Rectangular marquee tool. Rectangle. Okay, menu item, start a menu. All right, I am lost. Filter. All right, I just want to crop it. Okay, here we go. Crop right in front of my face. As my mother used to say, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. So I'm gonna crop that in, and then I'm gonna move my cursor to the outside, and I can rotate. Let's see if I can reposition that. I'm gonna crop in. All right, that's one thing down. Now I'm just gonna hit the Enter key. Okay, adjustments, window, adjustments. I think I hit the bonanza right here. All right, adjustments, levels, white balance, recolor, black and white, brightness. All right, here are all those things that I am used to. Yeah, all right. So I want to adjust curves. There we go. If I click on the photo, there we go. And I am right here. It says master. I want to reduce the green just a little bit. So I'm just going to grab here in the middle and drop the green. See, there we go. That green tint is going away, and I still have the green in the image. All right, so I'm going to close the curves. I like that. So I click it, and oh no. Let's hit undo. There we go. And you can see everything is adjusting right here in my history panel. Okay, now I only really have one real thing. All I need is there's the clone stamp I can see right here. Ideally, there's something like the healing brush. There we go, healing brush. All right, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to use the same key commands, okay, and they're not working. Zoom, oh, hang on, there we go. Okay, the key commands. Again, this isn't a lesson. This is just you seeing me work my way through this. All right, layers. Make sure I'm back on the photo because I was still on the adjustment. I'm just going to paint over that. I don't think anything is happening. No. Nothing's happening. All right, if I click and hold, okay, see all these other brushes, the patch, the blemish. Oh, maybe the healing brush. Spot healing brush in Photoshop is what it would be called. And then the blemish removal. Let me see what that. I like to call that the Band-Aid tool. Let's see. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. The blemish removal. All right, it's doing something, but not what I wanted. Not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to hit undo. Oh, okay. So I get it. If I click on it and I drag, it will fill it with that spot. All right. Okay. I'm down with that. All right. So this should be easy. Boom. All right. I'm reducing the size of my brush using the bracket key. That's the same. All right. This is working all well and good right here, but I know I'm going to run into some trouble right, here. All right, so I'm going to try the clone stamp. All right, and I'm going to sample, boom, and then paint. All right, see, actually, this brush is a little too harsh. You can see it's a very hard edge. I want to soften that. Let's see. If I double click, will it give me anything? Nope. Uh, okay, the key commands work. All right, so that seems to have softened the edge. I'll sample, and I'll sample here. No, I thought it was softening the edge. Okay. And again, this is not a tutorial. I'm not explaining what I'm doing. I have to put all my brain power towards trying to use this software right now. But it seems to be going okay. I might have to speed through this bit right here just because, yeah, this is taking a little while. Uh-oh. Okay, that softness seems to be softened up a bit here now. Maybe a little too much. Yeah. Okay. And I've heard from people that the software it seems to be a bit more responsive because, I guess, because it doesn't have as much, it's not as heavy. I can't say that I notice any difference. All right, this isn't great right here, what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go ahead and go through this. I have gotten a little spoiled with the whole content aware fill. Like in Photoshop, I'll go over these bits right here that aren't, that I'm cloning over and use content aware fill to fix them. Again, that's a little sloppy, but I'm just going to keep going. This is just to get a good sense of the software. And again, this is my very first time. Well, I have opened it before, but this is my very first time actually trying to do anything in this software. Patch. Okay, I know what the patch tool does, so let's try this. It works just like the other one, actually. And I can just, whoops, go around that. Click. No. All right, every time I go around it, I select it. Oh, and then I move. Oh, so it's only one step. All right. Okay. Whoops, I keep doing that. I keep clicking. Habit from the other, just move. Okay, I'll draw around this. This actually seems to be going pretty good. Only problem is it's blending right here. So I think I need to go back to the clone stamp to get rid of that fuzziness. This is at 100% flow up here. You can see, I guess this would be the options bar. Flow is at 100%. If I want to cut that down, here's the hardness. The edge, the hardness is at 0, so that's how I could affect the brush, I guess. Typically, when I teach a class, unless it's something like digital painting where you really need to have a drawing tablet, I will try to work with the mouse, even if it's not the way I would normally work, because it does give you a little bit more of an advantage doing this sort of thing. All right, now let's see what this looks like. Okay, it's not. Yeah, let me zoom out. Okay, now hit Command 0. Let's see if it fits the screen. Yeah. So a lot of things are the same. It's just getting used to where they're situated and where they're at. I can do everything I can do in Photoshop for editing here. There are some tools here. What is it? It says the liquify persona, develop, tone mapping. I don't know, but I think this is like Photoshop pre autofills and things like that. So if you've gotten used to those sort of things, I'm sure you will miss them. I'm sure I will miss them. Like one of the things that I typically would do with something is to select things. Okay, here we go. Select. There's something just called select subject, and it just selects the subject. And 85, 90% of the time, it does a really, really good job. And for my beginner students, it does a much better job. 97% of the time, it does a better job than they would have done without it. So select all layers, select deselect. So there are some things that are missing, but if you just want a reliable professional software, this seems to be a very good thing to have. And I plan on getting used to using this and seeing how it goes because when I retire, I am not paying for Adobe. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.